Imagine fingernails on a chalkboard. The shrieking scrape traveling down the dark board, causing acute pain and anxiety. It hurts. You want it to stop. It will stop though, or you can always leave the room. But what if it won't stop, and you can't leave the room? Imagine living with that torment every day, except the sounds causing acute pain and anxiety are everyday sounds, like sniffing, chewing, and breathing. Some people live with that torment. It's called misophonia. Today you're going to learn about misophonia, what we know about it, what it's like to live with it, and how we can help. The term misophonia was coined in 2000 by Paul J. Yastreboff and literally means hatred of sound. Misophonics don't have acute hearing and aren't afraid of sounds themselves, but specific sounds cause them undue agony and disgust. Misophonia is a neurological disorder in which, as an article published in the Frontiers for Human Neuroscience journal defined, a person experiences autonomic arousal, similar to an involuntary fight or flight response to certain innocuous or repetitive sounds. Each misophonic has their own set of trigger sounds that bother them most, and even if they don't hear a trigger sound being made, their tense nerves are just waiting to combat the sound they know is bound to occur at any moment. Common triggers are simple sounds such as gum chewing, sniffing, pen clicking, eating, and breathing. Misophonics are excellent at concealing their distress, but once completely overwhelmed, they can go from teddy bear to grizzly bear in a split second. What causes misophonia? We don't know yet. Research is just beginning. MRI scans done in 2017 by neuroscientist Dr. Sukhbinder Kumar show hyperactivity in the part of the brain that focuses attention on personally relevant stimuli. There's an abnormally strong connection between this and the part of the brain that recalls memories. The negative perception of these sounds triggers a fight or flight response, causing misophonics to react as if personally threatened. Basically, all we know is that there's an imbalance in the way the brain processes sound and prompts emotional reactions. Currently, there is no cure. Misophonics use various coping strategies to manage sound, and some take medication for anxiety. According to the Misophonia Institute, there are a couple therapies that show promise in retraining the brain to perceive sounds normally, but mostly misophonics just have to deal with it. As of yet, misophonics struggle to be taken seriously. An average person might say, just tune out the sound. But telling a person with misophonia to not be bothered is like telling someone with depression to just get over it. As if misophonia wasn't enough, other neurological disorders tend to accompany it. For example, misokinesia is similar to misophonia, but instead of sounds, the triggers are repeated physical motions, like other people fidgeting. Researchers in Amsterdam proved that 12% of misophonics suffer from misokinesia, and another study found that over 50% also had obsessive compulsive personality disorder, or OCD. I have all of these. This is me. Since I was a baby, I have been sensitive to touch and sensations, clothes, hugging, and my OCD developed as protection from the things that bothered me. When I was 12, my misophonia and misokinesia developed. Sounds that didn't used to bother me now caused me anguish. I am sensitive to chewing, swallowing, lip sounds, sipping, slurping, sniffing, breathing, brushing hands, clothes rubbing, whispering, toothbrushing, flossing, footsteps, clock ticking, and pen clicking. Even people talking is challenging, especially hearing the letter S. I often listen to loud music to block out sound. However, the S's can still cut through music, making the same sound sustained in whispering. Certain sounds made by certain family members are extra bothersome. My mom has a unique way of clearing her throat. My brother cracks his knuckles. And my sister breathes so deeply in her sleep it's like I share a room with a hippo. I love watching movies with my family. My dad loves to eat popcorn. And if he's not eating popcorn, perhaps he's biting his nails. I can understand eating popcorn, but biting nails is absolutely unnecessary. Sometimes just thinking about these sounds triggers a reaction. But if I make the sound myself, it doesn't bother me. This actually helps me cope. By making the same sound, the trigger sound is less irritating. If my family is eating, I have to be eating. It's amazing I don't look like a hippo. I also mimic sniffing. If someone has a cold, this can result in a sniffing battle, which drives my family crazy. They try to accommodate me by making noises softer, but it doesn't always help. I love my family, but my reactions to them hurt them, and it hurts me that I hurt them. To cope with my misokinesia, I'm torn between asking people to hold still or awkwardly block them out. I don't want to seem rude. When I was younger, I would angrily scowl or turn away. My OCD is only complicated matters. My OCD strives for perfection, but the trigger sounds are constantly interrupting that. This has especially impacted reading. If I'm hearing trigger sounds while reading, I enter a spiral of rereading the sentence again and again and again. When I get overwhelmed and enraged, I'm afraid I might hurt someone. Sometimes I feel like I'm a different person, two different personalities, a human and a monster. When the monster takes over, I desperately want to go back to being me. All the pain is inside my mind, and sometimes for the relief of feeling real pain, I'll scratch myself hard enough to bleed. I envy normal people. Like Quasimodo and the Hunchback of Notre Dame, I sit alone, watching people go about their lives, wishing I could be like them. I just turned 19 and I am still finishing high school. While my friends are beginning college, I'm struggling to read a few pages of schoolwork per day. When I do eventually start college, I'll be studying online because it would be impossible for me to handle an actual classroom. I avoid going places with people and doing things because it's overwhelming. I didn't go on vacation with my family last summer, and watching movies with people can be more pain than it is fun. I avoid the parts of life that are living, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid that people don't like me because I seem distant or uncaring. And I'm afraid that if I tell people about my condition, I'll scare them away because they'll think I'm a freak or it's all in my head. I am not just bothered by certain sounds, and I don't just get tired of noise. I suffer extreme emotional distress and physical discomfort from sounds imperceptible as breathing and motions as tiny as rubbing a lip. And I fear the future. What will my life be like? But there's hope. 2 years ago, I found out that my condition had a name, and I just underwent a year of intense therapy with the Brain Balance program to improve my brain function. This and just knowing there's a name for my condition has given me hope. Because of the Brain Balance program, I can eat at the dinner table again, and can even handle being in the same room as someone eating popcorn. This isn't a sob story. This is my attempt to help you understand misophonia and what we misophonics live with. And not just misophonics. According to a recent UN report, nearly 1 in 6 people worldwide suffer from a neurological disorder, and they need and deserve our understanding and kindness. My misophonia is still around and distresses me every day. It might fully go away with therapy, or it might not. We don't know. But I remind myself in rare dark moments that wishing to be rid of my life is wrong, because God has blessed me with an incredible life here on a stunning planet, with people I love and who love me, and with the blessing of an opportunity to be brought closer to Christ through suffering and bring glory to God. Misophonia is torture, but a blessing in disguise. It has been a crucible to my character. My daily pain and anxiety has given me new eyes. It has given me insight and understanding for others. As said in my favorite TV show, Doctor Who, fear doesn't have to make you cruel or cowardly. Fear can make you kind. I don't talk about my misophonia. It's hard for people to share the things they struggle with, but the difficult day or lifetime of pain may be what's behind their behavior. So when someone doesn't act the way you think they should, is uncaring, dismissive, or fails to be there for you, look at them with new eyes. I can speak for those of us with brain dysfunction. Know we appreciate your understanding, and we love you, even when we can't show it. So be compassionate, be understanding, be kind, because many suffer in silence, and some without.